I don't really get why,
Straight up,
developers want to release stuff in early access so much lately. I mean, I get it that it's really nice to get money already, but it just...
Feedback,
Oh, but you have testers. I mean, just ask people to test your game then. I mean, because this... You know what's going to happen? People who wanna play like a shoot 'em up thing like this, they're going to play this right now. And once it's actually out,
yeah, they
it's
won't
going to have huge problems.
There is going to be some issues, yes.
And this is why actually I think, because then, now there's just a slight hype, because people would say, yeah, okay, maybe, it's going to be good someday, but currently now it's just lacking in this. And even though they might deliver, it's just, most people would just have forgotten by then, and even though some people might not have forgotten, there's just not enough hype around it again.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a wise decision. If I would make a PC game right now, I would not go for early access. I don't think it's a wise choice.
See, some games suit it, because there are a few on there that are really playable, don't break, and they're doing really well, like Nuclear Throne. What they do is they make sure everything works, and then they put it out in like small bite-sized chunks and update or increase the amount of features as they go, and that works really well.
Yeah, maybe, but I think Nuclear Throne might be also a tad different because it is a roguelike. So I think that makes a difference because in general, roguelikes are quote-unquote finished, even if there's not as... Let's say Binding of Isaac. If you would have like half the items you have, you could still play it, It's still somewhat finished. But if you have more items, it's obviously more fun, but you don't necessarily need them.
Yeah, I gotta say that some things need like a baseline of features, even roguelikes do, but
yeah, true.
This, I would not pay money for. It's not... it's not my kind of game.
I don't think that...
Not in its current state.
And in its current... I mean, I don't like putting the caveat in the front of in its current state, because if this was a full release, nothing was going to be added to it, I probably wouldn't buy it anyway.
I agree with you. If you put a product on sale, whether it's finished or not, whether it's on early access or not, it needs to be criticized as a product for consumers to purchase.
Yeah.
So, that's acceptable.
That's what George said.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you watched Super Bunny Hop.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was talking about, instead of just having reviews or previews, I think, is it Eurogamer?
He was talking about giving games actual review scores.
Yeah.
So give early access game actual numbers.
Yeah. I'm not a fan
but
of
I don't think that's a good approach.
Place, but I definitely try and review them as if I'd pay money for them.
Problems, I think. So the first problem that arises is that Metacritic doesn't allow to update your number, which is a huge problem because
Metacritic is almost BS because people fake it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, there is no argue that Metacritic is just BS and no one should probably use it. But the matter of the fact is that people are using it, and developers do get extra pay if they reach a certain amount of points.
Yes.
You're right.
So even though it's bullshit, people are going to use it.
You're right.
I think this is the reason we should actually include a number. Well, I mean, I'm not doing it too because I think it's bollocks.
I don't like numbers. It doesn't tell you anything.
I don't do it.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of YouTubers do.
Not very many. Very few.
That's very focused on the big, like old school game review style.
Yeah, it is. Like I always just present my thoughts and describe the game and trust that my viewers and audience will have the intelligence to make up their own minds based on the information I'm presenting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't need to insult my viewers with a number. Because the number says exactly. The number basically says my viewers are too dumb to understand the things I said. So here's a summed up, version of everything I just mentioned in a number form. Yeah. And I don't believe in that. I think my viewers are more intelligent than that.
Yeah.
So I think the approach is that.
Difference. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Because you can't just
different
skip to the end of a a video.
Number.
Well, you can, but you lose all the context.
You can, but you don't get the same. Yeah, you don't get the same experience, obviously.
Yeah.
But as far as this game's concerned, I agree with you guys for the most part. I think my feelings towards this is a little bit more positive than some other people here. I like it because this is honestly my genre, a game that I'd really enjoy. And I can see this game having a kind of Mercenary Kings kind of appeal as far as customizing your guns is concerned. I can see the potential of this game. Yeah. But you guys are correct. I mean, this game has a long ways to go, has a lot of stability issues, has a lot of optimization issues, and there's not enough content at the moment. But then again, we've only experienced just a brief, few minutes. So,
yeah, sure.
Also something to keep in mind.
That's the thing, though. I'm not enjoying this game in its current state. I don't know. I can't explain why, but I think people will be able to see.
Holy cow, what is this?
Oh, there's stuff going on now. Oh, there's a boss.
Yep.
Okay, this could be interesting. But, like I was saying, until the boss suddenly tried to blow me up, I'm not.
Can we shoot him from here and he doesn't do anything?
But I did enjoy shoot many robots.
Like, I mean, things have happened that would impede your enjoyment as well, right?
Yeah.
Your gun being equipped and changing it, modifying it. We've been having a good time with that, so...
Yeah, it is fun. I can get the idea of, crafting stuff, and I get how this could be fun. This is why I said earlier that when you start out the game, just give everyone, right from the start, give everyone like a couple of components, just a couple of things to play with, like a basic shotgun, like basic grenade launcher or whatever. Just give them some things so everyone can basically customize and feel, a tad powerful, because the basic thing you use in the tutorial, that's just bollocks, man.
No, I agree.
That's just rubbish.
The initial gun sucks. Me and Jerm talked about this last night in our recording. Jerm mentioned that he wanted to see a Metroid thing.
Take it away or something.
Yeah.
Let me see what it's like to be powerful. Show me the good abilities I can get, not the crappiest basketball shooter.
Yeah, it does sound like a basketball being bounced around, doesn't it?
It does. I think the sound effect could use a little bit of tweaking.
But like, my gun is pimped. When I shoot things, they go flying. I have like a huge knockback gun.
Nice.
It's awesome. Look at that.
So yeah, I think once, if people get more into the customization, if the customization didn't crash the system, we might be having
there's issues.
Yeah.
And what's with the trans group stations? That's supposed to be the quest marker? That's not good enough.
I got the same barrel I already have. Thank you.
But it might have different sets. It just might look the same.
And you can't complain about RNG, okay? RNG is RNG. Random is random.
Oh, and really, it has different stats. That's intriguing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I kind of like that. It has that Diablo-esque loot and shoot kind of feel to it. Like, the truth is, okay, I'll be honest, this game, as far as a platform shooter, besides the whole pivot mechanic, it feels a little bit, I've kind of played it, kind of a little bit generic. But to be fair, Borderlands 2, which I loved, I put 1,200 hours into that game. 1,200 hours! I know, it's ridiculous. Let me explain myself. The shooting mechanics is extremely basic, bland, and generic in that game. Okay? But it's the looting and the shooting that kept me playing. I just kept farming for better loot. And if the loot system is good enough, it's okay that your game's generic as long as it's competent and the loot's good, And that's what Borderlands had for it. It was a competent shooter that wasn't fantastic as far as mechanics go, but the loot system and the build system was really good. That's what kept me playing.
Yeah, I guess that's a personality thing, because I really don't get into those.
I like those games.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you. The reason you play it, I only played Borderlands 1, but again, I've played that for ages.
Yep.
Because there were cool guns that did cool things. But
exactly.
Even then, the basic mechanics, the basic shooting was satisfying. It had nice beefy sound effects. It had some cool visual effects to go along with that. And it just delivered that very basic power fantasy of, I can kill lots of things. I have lots of cool powers. And this is just very dry at the moment.
At the moment, yeah. I think I agree. I think it needs some better sound effects.
The levels are the same. That's disappointing.
Well, the levels are randomly generated, and that's kind of a double-edged blade. Because after playing so much, even though it's randomly generated, it all looks and feels the same. You know, even though they're different, but they feel the same.
But even with like Spelunky's randomly generated levels, they're always
different.
the same bits. They're put in different together in different ways. But
yes,
the challenge is like variations on the same patterns, and it always feels like there's something you're missing, or you're not powerful enough, or whatever.
Oh,
the bullshit alarm has gone off. Sorry.
I should maybe check if this is like the fire alarm or something.
What is that?
So I'll be back in maybe never. Let's see.
Well, let's hope not never.
Have fun.
That alarm sounds distinctively European, by the way.
Yeah, that's a European fire alarm.
It's a very European fire alarm.
These enemies are kind of boring as well.
Yeah, it is kind of the same guys.
Game, but
it is the same guys over and over again.
I don't think I would pay money for this at this point.
Alright, so I guess we should sum up our thoughts. We already kind of did a little bit, but yeah, what do you think, Josh? Overall,
not worth it. If you're into this genre, maybe wait. But if you're not, then just leave it.
How about you, Jerm?
I'd say, like, it shows promise, but to be honest, as its current state, you really are just testing it for them. And yeah, it's pretty samey. I'd have to see a lot of improvement to be encouraged to buy it. So I guess that's my thought. But I'm not like treating it like a lost cause either. I could see this being good with the frame rates and more items and more variation and more environments, more basically.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna add Swashbuckling Sir back in. He's back in the game.
Sweet. Just a quick thing. The one thing about the mechanics, I don't understand the pivot point. It doesn't make sense to me as a whole thing. Either it wasn't properly explained, or I don't get why it's in there.
It's a method for you to keep up with your group, because when you charge, it just immediately puts you back in the lead with everyone else, I think.
It throws you towards the pivot point and a little bit beyond, because there's inertia.
Yeah. So maybe it's a party mechanic.
It is a party mechanic. But as far as my final thoughts on the game is, I agree with most everyone else here. The game is, it's not optimized, and it's not quite as stable as I would like to see, and there's definitely a lack of enemy and environment variety at the moment. These things are definitely easily and going to be fixed, though, because it is early access. Somebody just died.
That was me.
Nice.
I was about to say there's no challenge in this damn game, but no, I'm dead.
Yeah. I don't feel negatively towards it, though. I personally think I see a lot of potential for this game. Like I said, this is definitely my kind of game as far as genre is concerned and genre blending is concerned. And I think once the weapon system is a little bit more fleshed out, a little bit better explained, it would be pretty interesting. But at the moment, yeah, it definitely has flaws, and it definitely has a long ways to go. But again, I see the potential. That's what I'm saying.